You know what I'm talking about. Those flimsy, crinkled pieces of paper that just seem to appear out of nowhere. We're talking about receipts. And yeah, they're a tiny part of our day, but let's be honest, they're a total mess. But what if fixing this daily grind wasn't just about being more organized, but was actually about our health and the planet? Let's get into it.
No, really, think about it for a second. Is your wallet so thick you can barely fold it? Is your glove compartment just a paper graveyard? Or maybe your email has become a digital black hole, where that one receipt you actually need is buried under an avalanche of spam. We've all been there, right?
For way too long, we've been stuck between a rock and a hard place. You've got two choices, the old school paper receipt or the supposedly modern email receipts. And as we're about to see, both of them kind of suck.
It's this constant, frustrating trade-off. On one hand, you've got paper. Yeah, it's physical, but it's also super easy to lose. It fades until you can't even read it. And come on, something like 80% of them get thrown out almost immediately. On the other hand, you go digital, and that means handing over your personal email, opening the floodgates to spam, and turning your inbox into that digital junk drawer we were just talking about. Neither of these feels like a real win.
And you know what? It's not just a pain for us. If you think about it from a business's point of view, printing millions of these little slips of paper that get tossed in the trash seconds later, it's a huge and frankly a pretty senseless expense. It's a lose-lose.
But this is where the story takes a much more serious turn, because the problem with all those paper receipts goes way beyond just clutter and cost. There are some hidden dangers here that have massive consequences for the planet and for our health.
Okay, so let's start with the environment. In the US alone, just to print receipts, we are cutting down over 3 million trees every single year. I mean, just try to picture that scale, all for something we barely glance at before throwing away.
And it's not just the trees. To make all that paper, the process uses up a staggering 9 billion gallons of water every year. That is a mind-boggling amount of waste for such a tiny, disposable product. But this is where it gets really alarming. We're not talking about normal paper here. Most of those shiny thermal receipts, they're coated in chemicals like BPA or BPS. And these are known hormone disruptors that scientists have linked to some pretty serious health problems.
And the risk couldn't be more direct. For the chemical BPS, a shocking 90% of our total exposure comes from just one thing, touching thermal paper receipts. That means every time you take one from a cashier, you're literally absorbing these chemicals through your skin. Okay, so after all that doom and gloom, it's pretty clear we need a better way, right? Well, thankfully, there is one, and this is where the story shifts to a real, actual solution. Let's talk about a concept called Yubilly. So, what is Yubilly? The easiest way to think about it is like your own personal assistant just for receipts. It's a totally separate, super secure digital mailbox that has one job and one job only: to grab, sort, and save your receipts. No spam, no newsletters, no junk, ever. So here's how it pulls that off. First, you get your own special @yubilly.com email address. Now, the system is designed to automatically block anything that isn't a receipt, so all that marketing spam and junk just bounces right off. Then it organizes everything for you, summarizes it, puts it in categories, and saves it all forever. And the result? Your personal inbox stays clean, your data stays private, and your receipts are right where you need them whenever you need them.
That all sounds pretty great in theory, but you're probably wondering, how does it actually work in the real world? You know, when you're standing at the checkout counter. Well, the beauty of it is just how simple it is.
It's literally as easy as 1, 2, 3. Step 1, you sign up, you get your own unique Yubilly QR code. Step 2, at the store, the cashier just scans your code. No more waiting for paper, no more awkwardly spelling out your email address, and if they don't have a scanner, you just tell them your Yubilly address. And that's it, you're done, you can just walk away. It's often faster than waiting for the paper receipt to even finish printing. So what this does is it completely transforms that whole checkout experience. It's faster than waiting for paper, it's way safer than giving out your personal info, and honestly, in today's world, being completely touchless is a huge plus. Now, this isn't just about making things better for one side of the counter. When you really zoom out and look at the big picture, this whole system is designed to be a genuine win-win for both us, the customers, and the businesses we shop at. Let's just break it down. For you, you get to completely avoid the health risks from BPA, you get this perfectly managed, spam-free inbox, and suddenly things like doing your expenses or taxes become ridiculously simple. And for the merchants, they finally get to ditch that dumbest expensive printing paper, they speed up their checkout lines, they protect their own employees from those same chemicals, and they get a direct, respectful way to connect with their customers. So as we start to wrap this up, it's really important to see this as something much bigger than just a clever app for receipts. This is about rethinking a fundamental, everyday interaction between people and businesses for the world we live in now.
See, the big idea here is that a digital receipt isn't just a proof of purchase anymore. It's a connection. The source material puts it perfectly. It's about building a solid bridge between the merchant and the customer. A system like Yubilly is what actually constructs that bridge. In the end, it's a really simple but powerful choice. We can move away from a system that's wasteful, annoying, and unhealthy and move toward one that's smart, safe, and just seamless. It's about going touchless, going digital, going Yubility.
So the next time you're at a store and someone hands you that long, glossy piece of paper, just ask yourself, in a world where our phones are smart, our watches are smart, even our thermostats are smart, isn't it finally time for our receipts to get smart too?